Yeah, the more janky, crazy run, the better.
Okay.
And action.
All right, so today we are breaking down the behind the scenes of the Jason Again music video by Toronto artist Rochester, aka Juice. In case you don't already know Rochester, he's been creating banging tunes for the last 20 years, well known and respected in the Toronto hip hop community. And I was excited when he brought this song to me because it was so different than his normal style. And I felt like the video would be a fun creative challenge. And hi, my name is Lee Solo. I am the director, DOP, and many other roles on this project that turned into a mini movie. And I am going to break down the various stages, starting with pre-production. This all started in like the end of June 2025 when Rochester first brought me the song. It was a drum and bass style, and I was taken, aback because it was not his normal thing. But we kind of threw around a bunch of ideas about it just in our initial conversation about what it could be. We both were kind of feeling this like high activity, like high intensity action / crank was actually our inspiration. We were just kind of vibing on the idea of him being multiple versions of himself. How many Jasons can we come up with? We came up with like a dozen or maybe more. Rochester went to work on wardrobe. I gotta give it up to him for really like over the next few weeks working on it. Weeks turned into months of pre-production because of life being busy. But it worked out in our favor in different ways. When we were on the hunt for all the wardrobe things, hit that Spirit Halloween on November 1st to get everything at 50% off and got ourselves some great props and an orange jumpsuit that was just one of my favorite things in the whole video. So he was on top of the wardrobe and I was on top of storyboards and I was also top of locations. So I drove around trying to find lots of those. Unfortunately, we were shooting in Hamilton, not Toronto. So it actually gave us a little bit more ability to move around to different locations within one day. It was literally 5 minutes apart, and traffic wasn't gonna mess that up. We were also making sure we were gonna try to shoot on a Sunday, so then it was all the more easier just for us to be in places and no one to give a crap about us being there. I know I've yapped a lot about the pre-production, but it really is sometimes the most crucial part of the entire operation, because nothing else after that flows as good or comes out as good if you don't plan it properly. Nothing ever goes perfect. Something is going to happen. You're gonna have to flow and MacGyver it along the way. The more you can plan, the more you can not fall off the cliff of losing direction into what you were trying to actually accomplish. Enough yapping, let's get into the production. Okay, we out here. This is day one of shooting. So we're at Baker Blazer, about to do a shoot for the store clerk scene. Hey! What up, brother? How you doing? Man? Starting things off at the Ganja shop. They were very gracious to let us use their shop while it was open. Shout outs to Tim. And we were able to get in there to do kind of our shopkeeper guy, where we were gonna actually pull off a little bit of cool masking idea too, where Jason walks up to other Jason at the counter. And so that was cool. And it was also cool to be able to use the security camera there so that we could pull off a little bit of foreshadowing of our Jason mask, hockey mask guy. All of that was cool to pull off there quickly. Yeah, so now we're gonna go stealth operation at the library. Scenarios like this, we will ask for forgiveness instead of permission. We were quiet and respectful and didn't bring any crazy lights, no gimbal, no tripod, because I knew we were just gonna have to be on the fly. But with that said, I wanted to make sure for the chorus, I was matching the distance from the camera with the focal length and everything. So I used a tape measure to keep that 5 feet distance and make sure that I was keeping that consistent for every one of my shots, as consistent as possible without being on a tripod. All went well at the library. We pulled off our shots without getting in trouble. We got out of there and we went downtown, went to the Drake Hotel where Rochester actually had a show that evening. The Drake Hotel was nice enough to let us use the bar in the basement to shoot and for us to dress it all up. And Marwan was the actual promoter of the comedy show downstairs, and he was willing to be an extra for us and be a bartender who gets slammed onto the bar. And then we ran outside, we shot on the street, because I did use the gimbal when I was running down the street with him. Even with the gimbal, it was shaky. Without the gimbal, it would have been insane. Day 2. This was our very ambitious scheduled day. I knew from the jump it was going to be a 12 or 13 hour day. I was just hoping to keep the team out there for as long as possible. And shout outs to everyone who did come out and work hard. But for the start of the day, it was just me setting it up. I'd actually set it up the night before. I just set up a fake basement, used some blankets, and kind of around my record stack. We just wanted to kind of have our intro shot of Jason being able to open up the case and get the invitation. That's where a lot of our videos centralized around, was this golden invitation that lit up that I had to make, and I went to some craft stores and put together this little invitation thing that lit up. So Rochester showed up for that. We shot it, got out of here, and headed over to the park where we met the rest of the team. Dwayne Graham was first AD, Brandon Gold was production assistant, Kwabi Dansoh was doing BTS. So we had the idea of the old man character sitting on the bench, but the main Jason and with red pants runs by him. So we had locked off on tripod, just getting that done so we could be able to mask that out later. Cool, looking around. Yeah. Moved over about 5 minutes away to another park where it started to pour on us, absolute torrential rain. Everybody's in their own cars, and we're waiting for this rain to stop. And then it chilled out and the sun came out, and it was actually a beautiful day. Some people pay good money to wet the ground like that, so it wet our basketball court in this really cool reflective way with the sun. It was a little bit challenging because the sun was coming in and out with the clouds, and like it was just, the light was changing like crazy. But
I know. The lighting changes every like 10 seconds, man.
All right.
got out of there and moved on to Convict Jason, and we went to this wall that I had scoped out and thought it kind of looked prison wall looking-ish, and it worked great. Rochester was great in this video because he was really willing to commit to every shot, every character, and play it up for camera, you know what I mean? And like the way he was just doing like this kind of goofy kind of run, I loved it. We all loved it. We were all dying. Then we moved 5 minutes down the street again to a place called the Cotton Factory, which literally is like a old factory that did cotton there, I guess. But it's old, the brick is super old, and I thought, hey, maybe this can be like our prison courtyard kind of thing. We just kind of figured he could kind of escape from under this wood structure, and he's gonna escape out of here and run down here. And I thought the aesthetics of the area worked great for it.
You're first.
Position, bro. First.
You're first. He's not popping that off until you're in position. Yeah, and just be dramatic about like you're escaping jail right now.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Smoke first. Smoke first.
And smoke first, action. Which way is it going the wrong way? Can we move it? Can you turn it around?
This is so good.
I know. It's fine, it's fine. Now it works. Okay, here we go.
Hot.
Here we go, here we go.
Shit.
Come on, get there, come on, let's go.
That looks legit.
So after that, we got him out of the convict stuff, back into main Jason again, where he was in the red camo pants, and we're gonna do some running shots along the street here. With me sitting in the back of the SUV with the hatch up, Dwayne's driving, Kwabi's in there doing BTS, and Rochester is running towards me.
Start moving now, go slow.
Hello, opportunity.
All right, and let's start going faster. Yeah, faster. You're rapping.
He got to do a bunch of running in this video. He worked his ass off running that day. It was time for some dinner. We needed some damn pizza.
Pizza delivery, Jason.
Let's go.
So after pizza, we just went around the corner to a little alleyway for us to be able to do our hockey mask Jason, where he needed to come down the alleyway and give a little bonk to someone on the head, which someone ended up being me. Got ourselves a fake rubber wrench that looks surprisingly real.
One more lick, cute. Oh my God, this guy didn't lick him again. Bomba clot. Yes.
This is just for good measure, bro.
I'm
not listening to this guy, man.
He's like, I don't want to hurt you solo. What happened?
He didn't hit record.
Oh no!
Then we had to get Jason running again. As I'm sitting in the back of the SUV, he was running at us again down the street, getting in his steps, a lot of exercise.
It actually looks like the whole set.
It's behind the scenes of just Dwayne shuffling us around. Okay, so after we finished with Jason Mask, we had to get over to the next location that I had scoped out, this kind of cool abandoned looking building, to meet up with the biker boys. Shout outs to Fernando, Pereira, and his son for coming through with super dope sport bike. You know, and by this time it's like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. It's cold. People have been out here for, 7 or 8 hours or whatever. Yeah, and basically for this shot, we just used a bunch of nan lights. The nan lights were our savior because they're battery powered and you can just set them up quickly on some stands stands. In the streets of Hamilton, setting up softbox and C stands is like, you know.
I'm completely confused, but I trust you.
Whatever. Just believe me, guys. Just believe me on this and let's stop talking about it.
And then we lost a few people. So it was just Rochester and Brandon and myself for the long haul all the way till 12:30 a.m. Because basically after we finished those things, we went over to downtown Hamilton into an alleyway where it just took a while to get this done. My idea was to have the camera locked off in an alleyway and for our boss, Jason, to be in the middle of the alleyway and for most of the other Jasons to run towards him and kind of explode into one Jason at the end. With that said, basically required Jason to get into his outfit, run by into the middle, and then just go back and change into another one. Come back, run by the other side, go back, change to another one. How much do you love changing again?
Oh, it's great.
Then we went out to James Street. It was sort of our last running guy where he'd be running along the street and he'd be seeing the different Jasons on the side of the street, kind of noticing him and then starting to follow him. But that meant that we had to get him changed into all those outfits again. Between 9:30 and 12:30 a.m., he probably changed like 12 or 15 times. You're at my house at 11:30, right?
That's right.
And now it's 12:30? So that's 13 hours deep,
hours,
baby.
man.
Because I had us going to 1:30 in the morning, so.
I don't think we would have made it to the
Day 3. We started off the day in Toronto at Free Play, which is a vintage arcade bar, which has all kinds of cool things, but we were not using that. They were very nice in letting us come in out there and utilize their kitchen. This is the chef, Jason. Let's get set up and make this shit happen.
That's it. I'm sorry. There's no more Rochester the rapper. Rochester the chef now. Deal with it. You support me? Did you buy my last album? This is why I'm here now. Industry sucks.
Cooking up the ravioli and to find the invite and to get the hell out of there. So then we headed back to Hamilton for the last of our shots, which we realized we needed some inserts because on day 2, we didn't grab our hook part where I need to measure 5 feet, and we didn't do that for all the people that we needed it for. Unfortunately, weather had changed a lot in like literally 2 weeks. Winter came a little different this year. Unfortunately, the snow did melt for our day 3, but it was that much colder going out there on December 5th. In any case, we went back out. We got the inserts for the chorus until the nighttime when I needed some Jason Bond clips, and we were trying to also be careful with our fake pew pew, not trying to cause too much scenes. And meanwhile, this guy like literally drops it right in the middle of the street. Cool. All right, we good. Uh-oh. Fucking guy. Come on. No one called any popo on us and we got out of there, so. And that was it. Well, that was it for shooting. Then there's post-production, proxies and scrubbing through things and trying to make sense of all that. But actually, what was cool about this video, most clips had very specific spots. It's cool when you're piecing that together because it's not as much mystery, it doesn't take as much time. And again, back to the point of pre-production and pre-planning things. You know what it's gonna look like in a lot of ways and takes away the stress of the editing process. Put a lot of time into color grading, transitions, putting in some VFX things, doing what I could to spice this video up in every way possible. Know that we put a lot of love into this video and to make it super awesome. And my camera, my FX3 with 24 to 70. Yeah, and I had it all rigged out with the cage, the V-mount, the Atomos monitor. I literally did 24 frames for the entire video. I needed to translate the information quickly, so I couldn't wait for a slow-mo shot to translate that information over 5 seconds. I hope you've learned something, maybe, or just gain a different perspective of how we created this whole Jason Again music video. So many characters and so much planning, so many days. Go check out the main video, show some love in the comments to this video, and more BTS on the way. Peace.